Welcome to Pushing Forward with Alycia, a podcast that gives disability a voice. Each week, we will explore topics like confidence, ambition, resilience, and finding success against all odds. We are creating a collective community that believes that all things are possible for all people. Open hearts, clear paths, let's go.
Welcome back to Pushing Forward with Alycia. I'm Alycia, and this episode is going to be a little different today. I have had a ton of questions about how I'm feeling since I had my little medical scare a couple weeks ago. So I thought that it would be really awesome to come on and just give a little update and share a little story about mind over matter, perseverance, facing fears, and honestly, talk a little bit about how life can really stop you in your tracks and how, maybe sometimes that's okay to slow down and take care of yourself a little bit. In order to have this conversation, I have invited the hostess with the mostest of Play and Pray, our favorite sister podcast. What would you call it? Partner podcast?
Co-host.
Yeah.
Co-hosted podcast.
Co-hosted podcast. I know a lot of you are following her podcast now.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for supporting Play and Pray. But I decided to pass over the mic today to my sister because she is such a good host on her podcast to help me through this conversation. And so here we are.
Yeah.
Welcome back to the show.
Thank you
Sissy.
for having me. And I thought when you were talking, we were having a conversation yesterday. This is how it all came out. We were having a conversation and I said, I can tell on your social media, people are very curious how you are. And are you going to podcast about it? And you were like, I need to, but I don't want to do it alone. Here I am.
And here she is.
So,
And I love
one other,
you really have become, before we get into it, you really have become just this host of your podcast show that is just, you're so good at it.
sis.
Yeah. I listen to your show and I go, gosh, how do I be more like
You're
her?
right.
You're so nice.
Oh, stop.
I really do.
That
I
is
feel,
such a compliment. Thank you.
take away Pushing Forward. Let's see how you do with it.
Thank you for having me, Alycia Anderson from Pushing Forward. So I wanted to start with a level set because you have, from your own words, been feeling very good for the last 10 years. And I want you to take us back to the moment you realized something was really wrong 2 weeks ago and what your body was telling you and how you went to the hospital with that information.
I have been feeling really good for 10 years, but like good for me is no surgeries. Everything's like running well, but there has been like little glimpse of potential, small little signs of things going on, especially in my gut, in my intestines, like in my digestive system over the last few years. I'll have a moment here or there where I'm kind of hurled over after I eat or I'm too full or something. And wrong or indifferent, I'll just grin and bear it, get through it, and land her a hot pan and be like, okay, whatever.
To be fair, we're Italian. Okay. So we have stomach problems. So we all do. So we've been like, oh, you must be celiac. Oh, you must be allergic to A, B, and C. Oh, try a Pepcid, AC. You could sponsor us, Pepcid. We love you. We never thought this.
Yeah. And, it could just have been too like, oh, you're just Italian. You had another belly buster. So
Belly
go
buster.
deal with it.
But yes, that's true.
So, yeah. So, but I have been feeling pretty good. And like historically with my disability, I've got a lot of internal stuff that goes on. Like people look at me with my disability, see the wheelchair and they think that's the problem. But, I've had a lot of reconstruction in my bowels, reconstruction in my bladder, one functioning kidney. My uterus takes up most of my like belly. Like there's just a lot that goes on inside of my body. So the invisible stuff that goes on is the harder part of my disability. And it always has been. And so we've had this long stretch of like 10 years, no surgery, maintenance has been good. And that's been very successful because historically 10 years is a long time for me to not have to have any type of intervention.
I'm
And so,
sorry. I
Yeah, no.
also feel like you found an infectious disease doctor who changed your life. And so it wasn't without you struggling and finding the answers and not stopping because your 30s were rough, really rough.
Yeah.
And your 40s were
Yeah.
a lot easier. I'm saying in quotes.
Yeah. In my 30s, I had a lot of like and kidney and bladder infections that were chronic, like every 6 to 8 weeks,
Horrible.
antibiotics, high fever, lots of kidney stones, lots of surgeries, like surgery after surgery after
That's bad.
surgery. And I was working a corporate job back then. I don't know how I got through it. I just got used to being sick, so I didn't even realize I was as sick as I was until I got better.
So bad.
And I was probably actually dangerously sick in moments during that.
Definitely.
I just didn't probably connect the dots out of protecting myself.
So much so that you have immunities to many antibiotics. So from that time period. So not to downplay that you were healthy, but you had a lot of unhealthy. And then we just have been riding a very nice high for a while.
Yeah. So anyways, when all this happened a couple weeks ago, like, I don't know, it hit me more emotionally than it has in the past. And I think it's because I've had such a long stretch of feeling, air quoting, like good. And this one really took me out. I was just working. Like I was working one day, just like I do at my computer, pitching speeches, answering emails. And Marty came in and he said, "Hey, do you want a carrot?" And I was like, "Okay." And he brought me one of those big ones, like one that you would feed a horse, big organic carrot. And so I just sat and it was probably a foot long, and I just sat and I ate the whole thing and it was so good. It was so sweet.
I love a sweet
kept going,
carrot.
"Wow, this is so good. Yeah, this is amazing." I'm just munching this carrot. And then maybe an hour and a half later, I started to get a stomach ache. I go, "Oh, well, Richmond." And I immediately correlated carrots. Like, maybe I ate too much carrot. Was that too rough on my stomach? I don't know. Oh, it'll digest.
Famous last word.
And then we made dinner and I tried to eat dinner a little bit and my stomach, it kept getting worse. This kind of just intense, I guess, gassy pain at first. And then as the night progressed, it hurt to touch my stomach. Like it hurt. It was very, very painful. Curled over, like gut-wrenching pain. And I kept saying to Marty, "Oh man, I don't know. I don't feel very good." Like I had to take off my pants. I couldn't have anything touching the outside of my stomach. It hurt so bad.
That's when you know you're in trouble.
I thought it was pretty bad. So we went to bed and I just couldn't sleep. I was up all night, curled over. And so I got up with Milo and we went and laid on the couch. And it was like Milo knew because he kept trying to get me up. I think he wanted me to move. He was kept trying to get me up, bringing me toys. It was almost like he knew that my body needed to not just sit. He was very engaged with, and he loves to sleep. But anyway, then I started to vomit and I couldn't keep water down and I was like, there's something really wrong. And the next morning, I tried to get through it and I just by noon, I was like, there's something wrong. Got to go into the ER. And I went in and was there for 8 hours. It was horrible. And they did a CT scan eventually and saw that I had an obstruction in my intestines and everything was just stopped. Nothing could get through. My body wasn't moving or digesting or anything like that. And I was like, oh my God. And I'd never been told before by any doctor ever that if you have a lot of abdominal surgeries, which I have, reconstruction, my bladder is made out of my small intestines, lots of reconstruction in my bowels, I've had a ton, that can create scar tissue. And the scar tissue in your intestines gets real spider webby and sticky. And you have to be careful what you eat because you could get these blockages. I have no, other than I've had less pain, curl over, like during holiday, I eat too much or something.
Because we're Italian,
right?
Back to being Italian.
Yeah, belly buster, literally a belly buster. So belly blocker.
That's the right word now. Belly blocker.
Anyway, so they tell me we have to admit you, and this potentially is going to be surgery, which was scary to me because I've had so much reconstruction on my insides that no doctors want to touch me in there unless it's life-threatening because there's been reconstruction in my bladder, reconstruction in my bowel. My body just isn't the same as everybody else's. It's got there's a lot of area to hurt, to be unfamiliar with. So I started to get a little bit scared, but they said, before we go to the surgery route, we're going to put a tube down your nose, into your throat, into your stomach, and we're going to start to pull everything. And so that started 4 days of trying to reduce inflammation and get everything out of my system to see if my body would start working by itself before we had to go into surgery, which was super sketchy.
Yeah.
So.
And on my end, you have been through so many things in so many hard situations with, frankly, like most people, I don't think have the strength to go through. But when we talked, so first off, you were so chalant. You sent me a text message. And in fact, you sent a text message when I was recording Slay and Pray. And we paused, and my co-host named Alycia, which again, very confusing, like literally all around. My co-host,
We've started to get used to it though. We're navigating.
we're
now.
trying our best. I was like, my sister's in the ER. She ate a carrot. And she was like, what? I was like, I don't know. Like, why do people text you? I'm at the ER. Like, I had so many follow-up questions. So we paused recording. I called you quickly and you were like, they think I have a blockage. And I was like, oh, what is that? Literally, I feel blessed to have not known that for 39 years of my life. For real. But the next day when I talked to you, I have to be honest with you, you were so down, so depressed, so scared. And you were like, I don't want anyone to come here. By the way, I am so far away. And that's very difficult when problems arise. But who's not far away is Regina. And of course, Marty. Marty is like already there. But Regina is a couple of hours away. And so I was like, you're like, I don't want Regina to come. I don't want her to have to bring Ella. And I'm like, absolutely. I always listen to you, but you sounded so distraught. I was like, Regina, you have to go right now.
Oh.
And she did. And then I was like panicked because no one had told Nick. No one had told Nick, our brother. So I was like, okay, great. I'm going to have to be the one to call him. So I did. Because Regina was like packing up Ella, like getting everything ready, going to the hospital. I'm like, okay, I'll call Nick. I'll tell Nick. We have, and I think this is another reason why like you were so scared. I was so scared. Nick was so upset. I was like, everything's fine, but Alicia's in the hospital. He was so upset. And we were both crying. What?
Oh, nobody did that.
We were both so upset. And he was really upset. And again, I think it's because we're very far away. And when something happens, it's your hands are tied. You're like, what do I do? But we have a lot of trauma, I think, from previous events with our dad. And this was so sudden and so foreign and scary that I think we were all just happening, super stressed, I was so like beside myself all weekend. I was like keeping myself busy, I'm medicated, so like I don't cry, but like I kept feeling things. And I was like watching shows and like reading and like playing with my kid and like doing all these things because I was like so stressed about it. But I wonder if that was also part of the reason why you were like, it was so out of nowhere, literally just randomly. And we have a lot of trauma that I think we've healed, but then you never quite totally heal.
Yeah. I don't know. I think like I usually don't get that worried when I'm going through medical stuff because it's just part of the path, but there was just something different about this one specifically. I think it was because it wasn't directly related to my bladder or my kidney. It wasn't directly related to the things that I'm very familiar with going and fixing. And it was emergency. So I was in there with doctors that didn't know my body. They didn't know me. And like it, I'm 50. I'm like, my body has been so strong for so long. And, it's just like, I guess, putting the pieces together about internally, like what is actually going on. Like right now I'm having like to go through kidney stuff. And like there's a lot going on inside of me right now that I'm just kind of like, it's all happening at once, like uterus, kidneys, intestines, like, so there's just a lot. And it made it, I don't know, it just made me worry. And then Marty, and he was super worried. And it was not like a little thing to have a tube put down your nose into your stomach while you're awake and have that thing live in it. It was super painful. And
it's like a plunger or something up and down.
Sucking
what is it called?
You could see carrot.
Oh my God.
You could see carrot coming out of it.
By the way, I'm never eating a carrot again. Truly.
Don't really need to chew.
A hot tip. That's our pushing forward moment. If you're going to eat a carrot, do a slice maybe, or a deep chew.
Blend it, turn it in, boil it.
anything.
Uh,
But I think you're so right, sis. What is plunging? What is it called? The Molly, of course, knew. She was like, oh,
that
she
was
was like, those are
weird.
so uncomfortable. And I was like, it doesn't look good. It was like,
It got worse over time. My throat got really dry, and it was like that was the worst pain. Like, when what's your pain? I was like, my gut's fine now. My throat is at a 10.
you
Oh,
couldn't drink water. You couldn't, right?
nothing.
For 4 days.
Yeah. And so they checked me into the hospital. And one of my favorite parts about being checked into the hospital was I got into my room, and on the room, they've got this board where they want you to write your goals and what you do is for your career and like, who your favorite people are. And like, yeah. And so she's like, she's saying, who are your favorite people? I'm like, my husband, my dog, my sisters, my brother, my this, my that. And then they're like, what do you do? What's your job? And I'm like, I'm a motivational speaker. And they're like, oh, wow. And the doctors and nurses kept coming in. We've never met a motivational speaker before. Oh, it's really
So
good.
fun.
And then I wrote down for my goals that all I wanted to do was I wanted my body to heal on its own so I didn't have to have surgery. Like, that was my goal while I was there, to like somehow manifest like healing vibes in this strong body that has overcome so much, and I know it will continue to just do that. And then the 4 days began. But I just didn't want, I don't know, like I don't know why I didn't want anybody
It was
there.
so unusual too. And then as soon as Regina got there, I could tell you were healing. Like you were sounding better. You were just all around better.
She got in bed with me. Oh, and there's just something about your twin, like getting in the fetal position
And just snuggling
and being
you.
together.
Yeah.
It's very nurturing, you know, and it'd be the same if you were there too, or Nick. Like, you know, Marty got in bed with me a couple times, but when Regina came, like, I think I was there 24 hours before she came, or going on date, something like that. And, you know, I hadn't gone to the bath. Like, I couldn't go number 2. Like, I was really, you know, like things were not moving, and it was just like my stomach hurt really bad. It was just very like uncomfortable. And she came, and like she was gonna bring Ella, and I had this tube down my nose, and I just like went through this panic about Ella. This is gonna sound so bad, probably to all the disability advocates that are out there right now. And I'm gonna be like really vulnerable with this, I guess. But like, my niece and nephews see me through a lens right now of strength and beauty and possibility, and they don't see my disability as anything that is like weak or less than or something that you have to, you know, they just look at it as like
That's you.
part of
Yeah.
me.
Big news! We are launching the accessibility check. Are your products accessible? Your services, your website, your meetings, your marketing, your workplace culture? Not sure? You better check. The accessibility check is your quick start for spotting barriers, strengthening inclusion, and for making accessibility part of the way that you work. You can find more at learn.alyciaanderson.com. There you will find the accessibility check. Don't guess, don't wait, go check.
And I just felt so vulnerable for her to see me in the hospital with this tube down my nose. I thought it was going to freak her out because it was freaking me out every time I saw myself. And this stuff being sucked out of my body, and I just didn't want her to like, no, like I didn't want my image to change in her eyes. That was my own like fear, I think, of probably my own internalized ableism, honestly, of my disability and like what that means, because I know there's parts of it that are challenging and like medical, and I don't share that a lot, and I probably need to be sharing more. But
I think it's normal for you as the adult to want her to see you as strong and capable and healthy and to make her feel safe. But there is another aspect of, I think it's really important, especially for family and Ella's getting to an age too, where people around you need to be able to understand the things that you need and how to take care of you when you need it. Not every day, not even every month, but it's a really important lesson for her because eventually, like, she's going to want to take care of you. And
like, I'm already seeing that, like, when we go shopping or something, like, she insists to help me with my wheelchair. She
yeah,
wants to
yeah,
together. Like, and so, like, and I let her, of course, do those things. I know that all that is really great loves. And I guess there was just the image that the nieces and nephews see me in right now is so
mm,
pure, and I hope it always remains like that, but they are not jaded about disability at all right now.
mhm,
Still, even, and they're at the age that they're going to start to understand that. And so I think it's just like to have those relationships that are so pure, such like I want to protect that selfishly for
mm,
me, because I don't have relationships like that in my life,
mhm.
or
That's
many.
very understandable.
So
Very relatable.
yeah, but she was mad, like, she went to her grandma's for the first day when Regina came, and she was mad, like, she really wanted to come, and so Regina brought her the next day, and she was just so happy to see
Mm,
me. She walks in, "That tube doesn't bother me," and she sat with me on my bed, and she gave me peanut butter and jelly slippers, and
cute.
she showed me pictures, and, like, she just tried to make me feel better, and so you're right, like, I need to not try to hide those things. And then she had a major, like, life lesson because the bowels and everything started to move that day, which was a miracle, but it was a shit show. Like, literally.
But you know what?
It was like, "Hallelujah, we are having a shit show, and things are
Yeah.
moving."
You know what?
Um,
I remember my first experience with you like that.
mm,
You have to have them. That is a part of your life. And so, us as people, a part of your life, have to experience those things with you. And that doesn't make me
yeah,
think any other way about you. Never, not
yeah,
one time.
yeah,
It just makes
yeah,
me more aware of things that you go through. So, it just helps our perspective. And it's important that your twin's daughter can do it too. It's really
yeah,
important.
yeah, yeah, and she was, like,
Yeah.
all in with Regina. She's just
Yeah.
so much like
No, she
Regina, just
is.
she's a nerd,
And you know what? I feel
you
like if
know?
my son was there, he would have been like, oh no, leave that. Mommy, I'm going.
Yeah.
The right person at the right time.
Yeah.
So,
So I like all of that, and then when they were gonna leave that night to go home, because the next day was
yeah.
Monday and she had school,
Yeah.
like, she just kept saying to Regina, "I don't wanna leave yet." And she just wanted to stay in the hospital with me.
Spend the night.
"I don't wanna go, I don't wanna go." Go.
Like, wanted to
Yeah,
spend the night.
so, it was a lesson for me that I need to allowing people to be there for you is really important. It's important healing, it's important for them, it's important for you, and it's so much easier to close people out than let them in, and it's selfish to not let people in. If you don't let people in when they wanna help you, it's being selfish.
I mean,
Don't think so?
I don't know. I just think you were really depressed. And so I think sometimes decisions we make when we're really down, having someone you can talk to and be like, this just does not sound like you. I know you. You're stressed. You're depressed. You're very scared. This is not you. And you're not making the right decision. And so there are, that's why it's
Yeah,
important to have close relationship, I think. It doesn't mean that you're
yeah,
selfish for not letting people in. It's just you didn't have the capacity to think of others when you were like dealing with the tube and your stomach and the pain and you were on morphine. You were like flying high. That's why there's others around.
yeah.
But I'm glad.
And then a shout out to Marty too, like, he's such a really great partner, especially when I'm going through these things. Like, he shows up big and he advocates for me and he holds my hand and he wipes my butt. He, like, does a lot for me when he's really worried. Like, I know that, like, we're both so strong for each other and we're so important for each other. And when one of us gets sick, and most of the time it's me, I know how worried he gets because
Mhm.
the worst case scenario is detrimental for either one of us. And I hate to see him, like, worry and be tired and all of those things, and he just, like, he was just back and forth from the hospital over and over and over and over and bringing me flowers and taking really good care of me, and, so, like, he really makes me not be alone too, which I'm
Mhm.
really, like, great,
Mhm.
sure.
Yeah, he's so great. He always
or he's been through a lot in our marriage because of my health. Like he's been through a lot. Like it's got to be traumatic for him for sure.
I also feel like he's so great too with like updates and like contacting us and letting us know what's going on. Like we go back into like you just haven't been sick for a really long time like this. I feel like the last time I remember you this sick, you were, again, every time you go to Colorado, you got to stop going there.
Oh my God, that's an interesting point.
I personally think no more. I'm sure Colorado, like you're a great place, but not for my sister, because the last time you went there, you had sepsis and it was like very serious and very scary. And I feel like obviously 1,000 things have happened since then, but that was like, have you been hospitalized since then? I don't think so.
So I haven't put those two and two together. That's weird.
It's probably like timing. But remember, you were feeling sick. By the way, you have been sick you had a cold or a flu or something. You were sick all the whole month of May. And then you were like, I have to go speak. And I was like, you shouldn't go there if you're sick. The last time you were in Colorado sick, you had sepsis. It was really bad. And you were like, no, I'll be fine. I was like, okay.
I haven't put you and two.
Next time I say that, you'll listen. Do not go there again.
Yeah. Anyway, I forget what I was going to say.
Was it about Colorado and sepsis? Okay,
no.
Great. That was rough. That was bad. That was a scary, really scary one.
Anyway, I think what was bringing me down too is I had to postpone an event because of this. This is the first time I've been sick as an entrepreneur where I don't have a company, a boss, like paid leave. I don't have a team behind me that can fill in. And there was it was my first time kind of like worrying about my business, keeping things moving. Like it's busy time right now for bookings and like, making sure the year is stabilized with income. And so that part was really hard for me to be in the hospital and literally stop working, emailing, stop social media, stop all of it, stop pitching. And, but I needed to stop since I've been like home, like I'm just so much more calm. Like, I feel like my body's, will you just stop for a minute? Like you're going at too high of a tempo all the time.
Also, I was like really touched by was I knew that you were feeling better because you did an Instagram post and every photo had words. And I was like, that had to have taken her 4 hours. You're definitely feeling better. But the amount of comment on that, I was like floored. I don't know why I was floored, but just the nicest comments. And I'm like a big Ali Stroker fan. Every interview someone like that who I'm like really familiar with, I'm like, why can't I be on in the back? Oh, she said the nicest thing to you. She said something like, get better. We really need you. And it's just like, man, anyway, there were tons of messages with that sentiment, but hundreds of comments.
Yeah, there was like hundreds. There was, if you put like the 3 posts together, there was thousands. Like it was a lot of engagement.
LinkedIn. I'm not even talking about LinkedIn. I'm just talking about Instagram.
That is a shout out to like my community for the love and support and like backing me when I go down like that. Like I was really like, wow, I didn't expect it to take off the way that it did as well. I was just like, well, I haven't posted for 3 days. Like people are going to wonder where I am.
And you know what? By the way, nobody probably was wondering, right? Because we're very go-driven and you notice. They probably didn't notice it.
Really?
To your point of slowing down.
Yeah. And not feeling like you need to do every day, every something, And those posts were an interesting like little test too. Like people want you to be personal, like that was personal stuff.
And I feel like I'm so proud of you too for being vulnerable to talk about some of the stuff that I have never heard you talk publicly about. And I think that every time you do, not to sound like woo-woo, but like every time you do it, it does help someone. Seriously, because you're so open about it, I can be like, I am medicated. And I say it all the time. And people will tell me like, I'm so glad you like normalize that. I'm like, I gotta have it. So it's like you set a standard for me to be open.
I feel like my standard's pretty low. I'm getting better at it, but like
That's not true.
the internal stuff has been so embarrassing
I
for
know.
me. I don't want to talk about an incontinent bladder before it was replaced. I don't want to talk about bowel regimens and like needing to manage things. I don't want to talk about those things.
I understand.
But those are the hard things to get through the
Mm-hmm.
day. And while all of that is very under control, when the rug gets pulled out from underneath you, it turns into a nightmare. Like a
Full
total nightmare.
And I do think there are so
But-
many community members whose children are going through that, or they went through that.
Yeah.
And
For sure.
that does not take away the embarrassment you feel about that. But I do think every time you talk about it, it helps to heal you a little bit.
Yeah.
You know?
I'm following a few people on Instagram that talk a lot about bowel chronic illnesses. And it's so matter of fact about shit happens.
Truly.
I think these things are so much more common than we talk
Oh my God.
ever.
Yes.
For-
Yes. I
So
agree.
most I've ever talked about it actually here today.
And see what makes it to the final cut. But I'm proud of you. I'm proud of you for talking about it.
Thank you. I think I can do it because you're here with me. But when Ella and Regina were there and I went number 2 and then they left because the doctors were still kind of waiting to see if my bowels were going to start working. Nothing was coming out. Nothing. And so for that to happen, it was really amazing. And then I had to like go through all these other tests to make sure that like fluids were running through clearly, that, I had to go through another 24, 48 hours of that. And, like the morning that the doctor came in one morning before Marty came, Regina had left the day before and we were like making sure things were moving before they were going to let me go home. And the doctor came in, my throat is killing me. This tube has been in my nose for 4 days. Like I'm starving, like I'm thirsty. Oh, thirsty. I have never been so thirsty in my entire life. Ever. Like I was sneaking ice chips. I was not supposed to have anything. Sneaking them. I was like, terrible. But the doctor came in and she goes, all the contrast is going through and everything's working. You want to get that thing out of your nose? And I go, yeah. And she's like, all right, you want to do it together right now? And I go, you're going to take it out right now? And she goes, yep, let's do it. It was before Marty got there, before anything. And she came in and she was like, do you want to do it? I'm like, no way. Do I want to pull that out of my nose? But she came and she pulled it out. It was unpleasant, but I was very happy to get it out. And then Marty was coming in the morning just to like say, I was like, I'm going to surprise Marty. And he got to the hospital and I texted everybody like, the tube's out, don't tell Marty I'm going to surprise him. My body's working. My body healed by itself. And Marty got there and he rolled in. He didn't even notice at first. I go, do you notice anything? And he goes, oh my God, the tube is out. And I broke down sobbing. My body, we did it. My body healed by itself.
Yeah.
We did it. I can't believe we did it. My body healed by itself. Thank you, God. Seriously. So it was one of the most amazing moments of my life. Honestly, I've never been so grateful. I was so grateful. So grateful. So post
obstruction. I was trying to think of the medical term. Post Carrot, how do you feel like, number one, your life has changed? I know we were talking yesterday about some sad dietary things happening, as well as some different perspective and reflection moments of slowing down a little bit. So do you want to talk about that a little bit?
Yeah, right now I'm on soft foods and no fiber. So the doctor's like, eat everything the doctors tell you to not eat. White bread, chicken, hardly any vegetables unless they're super, super cooked. So like I'm dying for a salad and I don't know when I'm going to ever be able to eat that again. But like I'm dealing with that, right? I like to work out and be healthy. So it's been pretty difficult for me.
Today, how did that go?
I did work out today. It was hard going back, but
you feel good after?
It was good.
Good.
Yeah.
I can't believe you're back at the gym
and I
after
think
that. It's just I know, but it's just amazing. Oh no, but like looking at you now and seeing you 2 weeks ago, like it's just a miracle.
Our bodies are amazing.
Oh my God, they
things.
really
Our
very.
bodies are really resilient. They can really overcome a lot if we believe it.
Mm-hmm.
If we're like in the mindset to just go fight. And even if you're not in the mindset to fight, your body's still going to fight for you.
So true.
What I've learned is I want to slow down a little bit. Like I want to enjoy smelling the roses, taking pictures of flowers, like going to all I wanted to do was go to the beach and feel the ocean air when I was in there. Like I just wanted to be at the ocean. Like
Have you been?
I want to, and no, but I just want to enjoy my life. Like I want to prioritize my family and time enjoying things that I want to do, because it was, every once in a while I have these moments of like, oh man, like I've had a really, really amazing life. Like I'm really grateful for my life and I want to experience so much more of it, but I want to enjoy it while I can. While I'm strong, able and fit and healthy. And when that's taken away from you for a minute, you go, oh, it makes you question a lot of things. So,
and the things
I'm just like,
I'm
what?
just saying, and like the things that you thought were important all of a sudden literally mean nothing.
Yeah. I mean, my work doesn't mean nothing. It's just I pour into it. I pour into others, like until my work is healthy, overflowing, plentiful, and it leaves me like tired and needing to rest. So I need to allow myself to do that. And that's my fault. I don't have good boundaries.
I mean,
So
things, I don't mean work, like things we bitch about, like stupid things, not like work, like, I don't know, dumb shit, dumb stuff. Something negative happens during the day, or the Instacart person gave you the wrong order, or just dumb stuff. Stuff that doesn't matter. And all of a sudden you're like, number one is my health, number two is my family, and number three is my livelihood, really, at the end of the day. Nothing means more than your family. That's how we were raised anyways. And so I'm sure that for others that your number one is different, but in our family, that's the most important thing.
So that's the story and I'm sticking to it.
We are so happy that you are flowing through normally now.
The gut is in full effect and working.
That's right. So if we had to have you leave off with a final pushing forward, what would it be today?
My pushing forward moment today would be to believe in the resiliency of your mind, body, and soul, and to go out and smell a rose and feel the ocean air on your face.
Yeah.
Enjoy life.
Enjoy life. I think that's a beautiful pushing forward moment. And Alycia, thank you for allowing me to talk you through this conversation. I have really appreciated it. As someone who was scared to death a few weeks ago, this has been very healing for me as well. And if I can quote you, which I quote you to you all the time, that's just how we roll.
It is. I'm working up to have you come back and do more guest hosting because you did excellent. I loved every minute of it. Thank you for coming. And shout out to Slay and Pray. Go follow, download, subscribe, support my sister Corinna. Her podcast will make you laugh, giggle, and feel so
By the way, it's just all about television. It's nothing. It's very lighthearted. So if you want to get laughs, come hang out with us.
Thanks for doing this, Sissy. I love you.
Love you so much.
Thanks, everybody. We'll see you next week.